So headers are really important because in any website the header is the place where most people are looking to navigate to go to a specific page and find a specific content. So you have to have a clear header with clear navigation and call to action. So let me show you how simple it is to modify your header. First of all, depending on what kind of template that you started with, you have a different design for your header. In this case, we have a top row and a bottom row that has the navigation and some social media buttons. But you can completely modify it the way you want. So for example, in most cases you have the header on the one line with the logo. So you can simply do that by dragging and dropping. You can add it here, for example, the blue line will indicate where it will go, and you can add it, let's say, here, and you have navigation in there. You can also have it on the right side. You can adjust and delete, for example, this text if you don't want it. And now you have a header on the side, on the right side, and you have a call to action button for a special call to action there. So as you can see, it's very normal type of header now. You can just delete this section. And voila, you have a brand new header with a navigation, with a call to action button and a logo. So the header itself, it's a row. You have the option to add a row on top and on bottom. This is your main row. And you can add on the plus icon to add a row on top. And for example, you can add something like, for example, some kind of a text, information, social media. So by clicking on the plus icon on any of the rows, you have the ability to add one of the different widgets that you have inside. These are widgets specifically made for your header. So by clicking on, let's say, a cart, you add a cart inside your header and you can now style it. If you want to add something else, like a search bar, for example, you can just click on it and a search bar will appear there. You can use the handles to adjust the margin between the different elements. And you can do that for the center, for the left, or for the right. You can add another bottom row by clicking on the plus icon as well. And if you want to delete it, just click on the delete option. So just like that, you can modify and create all sorts of different beautiful headers for different use cases. When it comes to the mobile, for the menu, it's very important that obviously the menu is the main star of the whole header. So when you have the menu widget, you can just click on edit menu to modify your elements that you have. As you can see, you can add a new menu item and you can select if it's a page, if it's a store product, if it's an anchor point linking to a specific place on the page, if it is a pop-up maybe you want to pop up, or an email or a phone, whatever it is, you can add that inside your menu. If you want to add a submenu, it is very simple. As you can see, these two elements have submenus. But how to do that? So by clicking on the drag icon, you have the option, first of all, to arrange the position of the different elements, and you'll see they will change now. But you also have the option to just drag to the right, and it will actually go as a drop down of this who we are. And if you want to take it out, just drop it on the right side and it will show again. So this way you can modify and create submenus and add different elements to your menu. You also have the option to add the mega menu. The mega menu is really cool way to add a big drop down. So let's say the contact one. So we want to add a mega menu when you go on top of the contact. So just click on the plus icon and that's it. Now you just click on the pencil to edit your mega menu. By default it will come with this design, but you can completely modify it the way you want. You can add products, you can add all sorts of different galleries, videos if you wish, and completely modify it because it's a draggable area. You can even add a new block like this. So yeah, it is really simple to use and it's really fun. You can build all sorts of different drop downs and mega menus with the header. When you're ready, just click on confirm. And now if we preview this page, don't forget to save it. If you preview this page and you'll see on the contact, we have this great mega menu with really nice call to action. These ones you can add with menu items as well and different navigation. So it's really great way to do different kind of designs like this. So what else you can do with the navigation? With the navigation, you can also, with the header, you can also adjust the margins. So this is really cool thing. Just use the handles to create margins and paddings. And what else you can do? You can also modify the whole layout of the whole design. What do I mean by that? So by clicking on the header settings, you have things such as header background color for this row, but you can also add different type of layout. So in this case we have the normal layout, but you also have the full width, which goes from side to side if you want to have a really stretched header, but you also have the option to have it compact like this with no background going outside of the compact view. You also have the option to put it vertically on the side and on the left side as well if you want to have it, or actually on the right side if you want to have it. So these are different options for the different headers, and as you can see you have full freedom to do it the way you want. And for the moment let's just keep it the way it was. You also have the option to have the content on top of the header on top of the content. What does it mean? So the header on top of the content makes your header on top of the content. And what are the use cases that you can use this for? For example, let me show you how you can use that. You can make more spacing, and you've seen such websites probably. So you need to have the header on top of the image in this case, but you have to have some spacing. That's why we created it. And now if you go and place it on top of the header on top of the content, you can make, for that reason, for that whole design to make sense, you just make the background transparent so you can actually see the image behind it. You can now make the text white, you can make the logo white as well to make sense the design that we're trying to build. So just like that, we've added the header on top of the content and it shares the same background image. But yeah, it's different key use cases, so you can play around and create the design that you want. Some of the templates again might come with this header being on top of the content. And let's just discard again. And lastly, how you can do a fixed header. So when you're scrolling down your website to have this thing happening. So by default you might not have it. So this is the option here. So you can disable and enable the header being shown into the page. So when you have it enabled, let me just remove it, refresh, and you'll see that now we don't have a fixed header. And when we enable this setting, we'll now have the whole header to scroll down. But let's say that when you're scrolling down, you don't want to have this whole, it's too big. So let's delete this section. And we have this very compact view when you're scrolling down. So this header that you have here is completely unique from what you have here. So you can modify the way you want, you can add even less menu items like this, for example, and just have only the most important things that you want to add. And just like that, you have your original one, and your fixed one is with the smaller compact view. And if you don't want this header to be always on top of your content when you're editing your pages, you can just click on the collapse option. That will just hide the header and it will not show unless you expand it. But this is only for when you're building the website. Obviously, when you are inside the website itself, you will see that fixed header. Another option is that if you have a landing page or a funnel inside your website and you don't want the header to be visible, you just click on the hide option. That will hide the header for that specific page. So when you preview, you'll see we don't have a header anymore. But if you want to show it, just click on show. You can do the same thing for the header, for the footer. So the footer can also be hidden as it is global for all the pages. So if you hide it here, it will not show on this page, but on all other pages it will show because you haven't hide it there. So you can have it hidden or shown, both the header and the footer. So this is how simple it is to modify your headers, create different designs, edit your menu widget, and add different submenus and mega menus in a very simple and easy way. So you can create the most amazing navigations so your visitors can easily find the information they're looking for. And yeah, this is it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate and let